Hello and welcome to Book Summarist. Have you ever wondered why some people embrace challenges, learn from their mistakes, and grow stronger, while others retreat at the first sign of difficulty? Why does success seem effortless for some, but unattainable for others? Carol Dweck, in her groundbreaking book Mindset, unravels the secret. It's all about your mindset. She introduces two core concepts: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and demonstrates how these beliefs about intelligence, talent, and effort shape the course of your life. The story of mindset is a journey of self-discovery, a guide to transforming not just how you think, but how you approach every aspect of life. By shifting from a fixed to a growth mindset, you can unlock the potential within yourself to grow, thrive, and overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Let's dive into the principles, chapter by chapter, and uncover how your mindset holds the key to your success. Chapter 1. The Two Mindsets, Fixed versus Growth. Carol Dweck begins by introducing two distinct ways people view their abilities and potential: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset is built on the belief that intelligence, talent, and other qualities are static traits. If you're naturally good at something, success will come effortlessly, and if you're not, there's no point in trying. The problem with this belief is that it creates an overwhelming need to prove yourself, again and again. Imagine living under constant pressure to avoid failure at all costs because failure would reveal a lack of innate ability. This mindset can lead to avoidance of challenges and a paralyzing fear of making mistakes. On the other hand, the growth mindset offers a liberating alternative. In this mindset, your abilities are seen as malleable, something you can develop through effort, learning, and perseverance. Failure is no longer a threat to your identity, but a natural part of growth. Dweck captures this beautifully. Why waste time proving over and over how great you are when you could be getting better? This subtle yet profound shift in perspective changes everything, from how you tackle challenges to how you handle criticism. To illustrate this, Dweck conducted a study with children. She gave them puzzles and observed their reactions to praise. Children praise for their intelligence. "You're so smart." We're more likely to choose easier puzzles to avoid failing and risking their smart label. But those praise for their effort. "You worked so hard on that." Embrace more challenging puzzles. They were eager to push their limits, knowing their value wasn't tied to immediate success but to their willingness to grow. Dweck's point here is not just theoretical, it's deeply personal. She admits that early in her career, she was trapped in a fixed mindset herself, constantly seeking validation for her intelligence. It wasn't until she began studying human potential that she realized the power of shifting her mindset. This first chapter lays the foundation for understanding how much of our behavior stems from these beliefs and sets the stage for transforming them. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets, Beliefs that Shape Behavior. What drives these two mindsets? At their core, they are shaped by deeply held beliefs about effort, talent, and failure. For those with a fixed mindset, effort is often seen as proof of inadequacy. If you're truly gifted, they reason, success should come effortlessly. This belief traps people in a cycle of avoidance. They steer clear of challenges because any struggle or failure might expose their limitations. This mindset can quietly creep into every aspect of life, turning even minor setbacks into crises of confidence. Contrast this with the growth mindset, where effort is celebrated as the path to mastery. People with this mindset understand that talent is just the starting point, and it's the hard work, persistence, and learning along the way that lead to greatness. Dweck writes, "Becoming is better than being." In other words, the journey of improvement is far more fulfilling than simply proving you're already good at something. Consider how these beliefs play out in real life. Dweck shares the story of a high school student who struggled with math. With a fixed mindset, the student believed they were simply bad at math and avoided challenging problems. After learning about the growth mindset, their perspective shifted. Struggling didn't mean they were incapable, it meant they were learning. Over time, the student began to embrace the effort and started excelling in math, ultimately proving to themselves that abilities can be developed. These stories remind us that the way we interpret effort and failure has a profound impact on our lives. If we see struggles as evidence of inadequacy, we shrink from opportunities. But if we view them as part of the process, we open ourselves up to growth, resilience, and success. Chapter 3: The Truth About Talent and Accomplishment. Dweck delves deeper into the myths surrounding talent and achievement. Society often glorifies the idea of natural-born geniuses, those rare individuals who seem to succeed effortlessly. This narrative reinforces the fixed mindset belief that talent is everything and hard work is secondary. But Dweck challenges this myth with compelling evidence that talent alone rarely leads to lasting success. Take the story of Michael Jordan. Widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Jordan wasn't always seen as a superstar. In fact, he was cut from his high school varsity team. For someone with a fixed mindset, this rejection could have been devastating, a signal that they didn't have what it took. But Jordan's response was entirely different. He turned that failure into motivation, practicing harder than ever and eventually becoming a legend. Dweck points out that what set Jordan apart wasn't just his skill, but his relentless drive to improve, even at the peak of his career. Dweck uses these examples to emphasize that effort, practice, and resilience matter far more than raw ability. She writes, "Even geniuses have to work hard for their achievements." This realization can be life-changing. Instead of being trapped by the fear of not being good enough, the growth mindset allows us to focus on what truly matters: the process of learning and improving. Chapter 4: The Mindset of a Champion. What separates a true champion from the rest of the crowd? Carol Dweck argues that it's not just talent or ability, it's the mindset that drives them. Champions often embody the growth mindset, not because they are immune to failure, but because they embrace it as a critical part of their journey. In this chapter, Dweck explores how athletes, leaders, and performers achieve greatness by focusing on learning and growth rather than protecting an image of perfection. One of the most compelling stories is that of Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps. Even though he had a natural affinity for swimming, it was his unrelenting work ethic and ability to learn from setbacks that made him the most decorated Olympian in history. Phelps approached every practice session as an opportunity to improve, and even his mistakes became learning tools. Dweck highlights this mindset. Champions aren't born, they are built through effort, feedback, and resilience. In contrast, athletes with a fixed mindset often crumble under pressure. Dweck describes how these individuals tend to avoid risks that might expose their flaws. They fear failure so much that they miss out on opportunities to grow. For them, failure is final, a statement about their lack of talent. But champions with a growth mindset view failure differently. For them, failure is a stepping stone, a necessary part of achieving greatness. Dweck recounts the story of Muhammad Ali, who famously said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." This quote perfectly encapsulates the growth mindset, the willingness to endure discomfort and effort in the short term to achieve something extraordinary in the long term. This chapter challenges readers to rethink their approach to success. Are you avoiding challenges to protect your ego? Or are you embracing the process, even when it's difficult, knowing that every setback is an opportunity to improve? Chapter 5: Mindset and Relationships. Mindsets don't just affect how we approach work and learning, they also deeply influence our relationships. Dweck explains that a fixed mindset can be especially damaging in personal connections because it leads people to believe that relationships, like abilities, are static. People with a fixed mindset often see conflicts as a sign that something is fundamentally wrong with the relationship. They believe that if a relationship requires effort, it must not be meant to be. On the other hand, a growth mindset brings a completely different perspective. In this mindset, challenges in a relationship are seen as opportunities to grow closer and strengthen the bond. Effort isn't viewed as a sign of failure, but as a necessary ingredient for success. Dweck writes, in the growth mindset, relationships are about developing yourself and your partner, growing closer, and growing stronger through conflicts. Dweck illustrates this with the story of two couples. The first couple, operating from a fixed mindset, struggled with communication and eventually grew distant because they believed their issues couldn't be resolved. The second couple, with a growth mindset, approached their disagreements as a chance to understand each other better. They sought feedback, worked through their differences, and ultimately grew stronger together. A particularly striking point Dweck makes is how fixed mindset individuals often avoid accountability. They are quick to blame their partners for problems, seeing criticism as a personal attack rather than a chance to improve. Growth mindset individuals, however, are open to feedback and willing to take responsibility for their role in conflicts. This chapter reveals how powerful mindset shifts can transform not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Relationships, like abilities, thrive on effort, learning, and a willingness to grow. Chapter 6. The role of mindset in leadership. Leadership is another area where mindset plays a crucial role. Leaders with a fixed mindset often believe that they must project an image of perfection. They fear admitting mistakes or seeking advice because they worry it will make them look weak. This fear can create a toxic environment where employees feel stifled and creativity is suppressed. Dweck contrasts this with leaders who operate from a growth mindset. These leaders prioritize learning, both for themselves and their teams. They encourage open dialogue, embrace feedback, and create an environment where innovation can thrive. Dweck shares the example of Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric. Welch famously transformed the company by fostering a culture of continuous improvement. He believed in empowering his employees to take risks and learn from failures, which ultimately led to unprecedented growth. A particularly insightful observation from this chapter is how fixed and growth mindsets affect decision-making. Fixed mindset leaders tend to play it safe, sticking to what they know and avoiding risks that could lead to failure. Growth mindset leaders, however, are willing to step into the unknown, understanding that even failures can lead to valuable insights. Dweck urges readers to reflect on their own leadership styles. Are you creating an environment where people feel safe to take risks and grow? Or are you fostering fear and perfectionism? The mindset of a leader doesn't just shape their own success. It influences the success of everyone they lead. Chapter 7. Mindset in Parenting and Teaching. Carol Dweck dedicates this chapter to one of the most important arenas where mindsets are shaped: parenting and education. She begins by posing a thought-provoking question. What message are you sending to children when you praise them? Parents and teachers often have the best intentions when they tell a child, "You're so smart," or "You're a natural at this." However, Dweck explains that such praise fosters a fixed mindset. It inadvertently teaches children that their worth is tied to inherent abilities rather than effort and learning. When these children encounter challenges, they fear failure because it threatens their sense of identity as smart. Dweck contrasts this with the impact of praising effort, strategy, and persistence. When children are told, "You worked so hard on this," or "I love how you kept trying until you solved it," they begin to associate success with effort and growth. They see challenges as opportunities to improve rather than threats to their self-worth. A vivid example Dweck shares is the story of two classrooms. In one, the teacher emphasized getting the right answers, and students who struggled quickly became disengaged. In the other classroom, the teacher focused on learning as a process, encouraging students to experiment, make mistakes, and try again. Over time, the second group of students developed resilience, creativity, and a love of learning. One of the most powerful insights in this chapter is the concept of the power of yet. Instead of saying a child failed, Dweck encourages parents and teachers to say, "You haven't mastered it yet." This small shift in language reinforces the growth mindset and teaches children that abilities can be developed with time and effort. Dweck's advice to parents and educators is clear. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Celebrate effort, perseverance, and improvement. Teach children that their potential is not fixed, and you'll help them develop the tools they need to thrive in any area of life. Chapter 8: Changing Your Mindset. Having explored how mindsets influence every aspect of life, Dweck shifts the focus to the most critical question: can you change your mindset? The answer is a resounding yes. Dweck acknowledges that changing deeply ingrained beliefs is not easy, but it is entirely possible with awareness and practice. The first step is recognizing when your fixed mindset is in control. She calls this the fixed mindset voice, the inner dialogue that whispers, "What if I fail? People will think I'm not good enough." Once you become aware of this voice, you can challenge it. Instead of listening to your fixed mindset, Dweck encourages you to adopt a growth mindset response. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm just not good at this," reframe it as, "I'm not good at this yet, but I can improve with practice." This simple shift in self-talk can transform how you approach challenges and setbacks. Dweck also emphasizes the importance of embracing effort and discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. She writes, "The path to success is a series of challenges that stretch you to your limits. By stepping into discomfort and persisting through difficulties, you strengthen your belief in your ability to grow." One of the most inspiring stories in this chapter is about a man who spent years avoiding challenges because he believed his abilities were fixed. After learning about the growth mindset, he began taking small steps to challenge himself, learning a new skill, asking for feedback, and taking on projects he once avoided. Over time, he discovered that his potential was far greater than he had imagined. Dweck's final message in this chapter is one of hope. No matter where you start, you can change your mindset and transform your life. It's never too late to grow. In the final chapter, Dweck brings all the lessons together, reminding readers that mindset is not just a personal choice, but a way of shaping the world around you. Whether you're an athlete, parent, leader, or student, adopting a growth mindset can unlock potential you never thought possible. She challenges readers to reflect on their own lives. Where are you holding yourself back because of a fixed mindset? How can you begin to embrace challenges, seek feedback, and focus on learning rather than proving? Dweck's ultimate message is empowering. We are all capable of growth. The question is, will we choose it? If this journey into mindset has inspired you, you'll love diving into The Power of Habit by Charles Dweck. It's a perfect follow-up, exploring how habits shape our lives and how we can harness them for success. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll uncover the science behind building habits that last. Don't forget to subscribe to continue your growth journey.